After properly boxing the maxillary and mandibular impression, we are prepared to pour the master cast. In complete denture prosthodontics, we will be using the yellow dental stone. And for your impressions, a mixture of 150 grams of dental stone to 45 cc's of water will give you the proper water to powder ratio. You always mix these two to a nice smooth consistency and then vibrate them on the vibrator to eliminate any bubbles and air that may be trapped in the dental stone. We're going to mix this here in nice smooth consistency to our mix, and then just prior to pouring the box impression, we will vibrate the stone on the vibrator. Trying to eliminate the air here. And then we will take the impression and place it that is boxed up on the vibrator and make small applications of the stone, starting at one corner and permitting the air to escape just ahead of the poured stone. Carefully rotating and rolling this to permitting the air to escape ahead of the stone until we have completely poured the tissue surface of the impression. We now make additional applications of stone to provide ourselves with the half-inch base height. The mandibular boxed impression is poured in a similar manner, and after the appropriate waiting period for the stone to set, the models may be separated from the waxing strips and prepared for the next step in our denture construction. The maxillary master cast is relieved of its boxing strip and examined carefully. The strip is removed. The wax boxing rope is also removed. And then using the laboratory knife and very carefully slipping it underneath the edge of the impression tray, it can be carefully teased from the maxillary model. If some restraint is met during this procedure, just carefully soaking this model in water will permit this ease in separation. You can see here is our master model now ready to be prepared and to be trimmed. The first step is to freshen the boxing edge here with the sharp edge of our laboratory knife, and the final completion of the preparation of the maxillary master cast will take place on the model trimmer. But before doing that, let's separate the mandibular master cast. Again, the first step is to remove the outer boxing strip, exposing the stone base, and also you will see here the impression plaster and pumice mixture. Now this will separate again quite easily by first of all cutting away some of the impression plaster and then very carefully placing the edge of the laboratory knife into this mixture and breaking it away from our mandibular impression. You see this crumbles and falls away quite easily. And of course the application of the foil substitute on the impression plaster pumice surface prior to pouring this model facilitates this ease in separation. And again, the final removal of the impression is done by carefully teasing the knife blade at the edge of the impression in the stone model and separating in this manner. Going back with the laboratory knife, we can dress up the landing area on our master cast in preparation for the final trimming of these casts on the model trimmer. After removing all of the plaster and pumice mixture and the residual wax, we are prepared to trim this model on the model trimmer. The first thing that we should do is to trim the inferior border of the stone model and adjust this to approximately 1/2 inch in thickness or height. After we have attained this thickness, we then can begin to adjust the boxing edges of the model to approximately 1/4 inch in width. Moving this around, trimming across the posterior border, around in the buckle flange area, adjusting this landing area until it is uniformly approximately 1/4 inch. At this point, we can do the final trimming of the landing area and adjustments with our sandpaper to smooth out this area, and also to adjust any discrepancies with the laboratory knife that might still be present. After having trimmed both the mandibular and the maxillary model, we can set them aside to dry in preparation for the next step or procedure in complete